episode, not one, not two, not three of the Target Score Brampton podcast. This is the podcast that covers the 4-0 Brampton Honey Badgers. Needed to get that out.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host, Matt Bonomi. He is my partner in crime, DMZ Balsera. Thanks for joining us. Get some things out of the way early here.
Did you just say thanks for joining us to me?
No, like to the people watching. That's
okay. I'm like, I'm your co-host.
Too.
I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah, I figured you would have bailed probably. But anyway, I'm happy that you keep showing up. If you want more content, don't forget to follow Target Score Pod on Instagram, Target Score Podcast on YouTube. New episodes every Wednesday and constant content on the socials. You can also check out Target Score Winnipeg with Joey Slattery and Taylor Not Teddy Allen, and Target Score Vancouver with Chris Wiggins and Andrew Savory. And speaking of the fellas out westy, we're making history here. We're making history on the network here. Today is the first ever crossover episode in Target Score podcast history, and we're going to do it with Vancouver. We'll preview the Honey Badgers' upcoming game against the Bandits on Saturday. Going to be a lot of fun clashing with those fellas on the O side or no side part of the country.
Yeah. Speaking of history, I got some history for you right now. Okay. So 4 years ago today, all right, a man by the name of J. Cole made his debut in the CEBL. Do you remember where that game was?
I think I do, and people are probably going to think this was set up. I think
great
I do
trivia question.
I want to say it is the home of the it's Guelph.
Yes, the home of yours truly, my hometown. I grew up, born and raised, Guelph General Hospital. He played. Oh, really? He made his debut in the CBL at the Sleeman Center against the Guelph Nighthawks. So my question to you, Matt, all right, is what's your favorite J. Cole song?
Oh my gosh!
I know you're well versed with the hip hop scene.
See, I'm gonna look this up
before
right
we
now.
came in here.
I'm gonna look this up right now because I want the album title. I'm not a song guy. Like I like
albums.
I like albums, and if you ask anybody in like my circle of friends or the music circle of guys I talk to, J. Cole to me is on my Mount Rushmore of artists. I love J. Cole.
Oh yeah,
yeah, J. Cole. That's actually fitting that you asked that.
Yeah, you can't give me a song. That is fitting.
I can give you an album. No, I can't do everything around here, dude. Jeez. I think my favorite album by him was For Your Eyes Only, which was 2016. I just looked it up here. Yeah, the songs on this album, like the thing about that album is, I think if I remember correctly,
is no Role Models on that one?
Role Models is not on this. No. If you play it from top to bottom though, and you don't hit shuffle, it blends in, like every song blends into the next. And like Mac Miller did that, I'm pretty sure, on the Swimming album, if I remember correctly. But this one I remember listening to the first time, or maybe I just had that feature on Apple where it just blends the songs as you go down, and maybe I'm just a fool. That could sound like the name of a song. Maybe I'm just a fool. Anyway, but they had like She's Mine Part 1, She's Mine Part 2, which was on that those two songs on the album. I loved like every song on that album, and then For Your Eyes Only, the actual song too, was great. So yeah, I'm actually happy you asked that. No one's asked me about J. Cole and my love for Jermaine Cole in a long time, so thank you.
So going back to that game, now I was lucky enough that I was the sideline reporter for that game. I was it my first season? It was either my first or second season in the CBL. If it was 20, I would have been at the league at that point. Do you remember that news, and do you remember like where you were when the J. Cole news had dropped and the idea of him playing in the league?
Oh man, I remember hearing about it and thinking it was like, you know how like every now and then, like I know sports teams will post like April Fool's posts where it's like the Dallas Mavericks post like, we just signed like Dirk and Nash.
NBA Sentinel.
And I'm like, yeah, like I get smoked by that all the time. But I remember seeing that and thinking like, first of all, one, that's sick. Two, that's great publicity for the league. Three, if he wants to ball, go ahead. And I'm pretty sure like you would know this much better than I would because my memory is horrible. But like didn't he get into the game in the first or second game and hit a 3 or something?
He hit a 3 in that game. It was a corner 3. The thing that people I don't want to say failed to realize, but even going into that game, like people were like, oh, like, is he going to drop 20 points? Is he going to have a good game? Like he was reaching near 40 by the time he would played in his first season in the CBL. So, I mean, he was older. It's tough, right? So what I remember about that night specifically is like the buzz in that building, and being from a city like Guelph where nothing really happens, right? Like we're big if you're in agriculture or you want to get into the vet school, like Guelph is your place to go. Don't get me
Well,
wrong. I'd run through a wall for Guelph. I think it's a small gem of a place, but the idea of like a Grammy Award, I think Grammy Award winning hip hop artist. Some would consider him in the GOAT conversation. I mean, you said he's in your Mount Rushmore. Like the idea that he's going to play in Guelph and play basketball, professional basketball was crazy. And that night, it was just like every media outlet that you could think of was in that building. Like, I can't imagine handling and like handing out credentials that night must have been a nightmare for Shelby, who's still with the league, and she knows exactly what I'm talking about. But like, the only time I've ever seen it that pack is like for the Memorial Cup, or like when the Guelph Storm have been in a major game, or when the circus is in town, when wrestling used to be happening in that building. Like there's just like, it was such an oddity, and it's just such an interesting trivia question. If you ever asked him where he played, it's in Guelph of all places.
did you get to talk to him at all?
No, and so
No.
here's the thing. His team said, and like the team said, like J. Cole's willing to talk or be on the broadcast only if he's gonna have a good night. Like you're not gonna get him at halftime if he's got a 0 stat line. Like if he's done nothing, he's got to do something significant in order for you
Yeah.
to talk to him. Totally respect the hell out of that. Like
Yeah.
this is not
100%.
about him. Like he was so humble. He was so nice. My one and only interaction with him was I showed up like 3 hours before the game, and we were testing out the equipment, and I was under the basket, and the ball rolled over to me, and he like I picked it up, I gave it to him, and he's like thanks, really appreciate you, and I just said welcome to Guelph, and that was it. And I was just geeking out. I was turning like a little schoolgirl. I like froze in the moment.
You're just trying to
But
slide him a little copy of your demo tape or something. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
can I get a record deal really quickly. That would
I'm
be
like,
really
here's the
good too.
details. Here's my mixtape.
You know what,
But
too?
that
And
was
this
my
is
only
actually
interaction. Obviously, selfishly, I was hoping to get an interview with him, but it just never panned out.
maybe one day. You never know, right? You're into like all the movies and music stuff, so maybe maybe down the road. But I think the last time too that I heard something about Guelph was at Trapper's Alley. You know Trapper's
Yeah,
Alley, the bar
that's
downtown?
our
That's like
after hours podcast, man.
that's the only one. I remember going there during school when I was in university. I'm like, I love Trapper's Alley. Anyway,
Yeah,
this podcast is
you
off
got
to
to
an
sign up for the
excellent.
premium count to hear that
Yeah, that's fine.
conversation.
You'll cut it right now. Cut the whole thing. Fade to black. Podcast off to a great start there, D. Love it. Good history though. I like that. Jermaine
Yes.
Cole. For your eyes only. But this podcast is for everyone's ears, for your ears only, and maybe your eyes if you're watching online. We were treated to another good set of games here from this Brampton Honey Badgers team. Like we said, improving to the big 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0 on the season. They beat Ottawa on the road, a game that was crazy. I mean, I don't know if you caught some of that. Again, we're waiting for your debut this Thursday. The students, and we'll be packing the gym at the CCA or CAA Center in Brampton. So you'll be in the building for that one. But I know that was on the road, so neither of us were in person. But the box score is pretty crazy. We caught a little bit of it. Shawnee's 24 points, target score winner. Tyrese Hunter, 23 points, 5 threes. Matt Moncrief, 12 points, 10 boards, another double-double. They blew a lead, though. This is the first time we've kind of seen this team scuffle.
I was gonna say first time this team has faced some adversity. And it was interesting last week talking to Serta and saying that, he was excited about target time, but there was elements that were certainly daunting about it. And I think he finally, for the first time, faced a target time that was questionable, and whether they were going to come out with a victory or not.
Yeah, I was saying to someone the other day, actually, at the game on Monday, target time is kind of like driving in England. Like you're on the other side of the road, and then you got to do a couple laps on the block. And you're like, oh, okay, now I know how this works. Like my eyes aren't deceiving. Like,
Right.
everything's kind of making sense. They were up 22 points at one point in that game, and then Ottawa came back, made it really interesting at the end. But then Sean East hits his first target score time winner of the season. And I think too the cool thing about that though, D, is like, yeah, they blew the lead. I mean, they showed a little bit of the weakness there, but the reffing was a little interesting at times. It was kind of back and forth. I mean, it was kind of like at one point, it was just a coin going up in the air, and it was like Honey Badger ball. I don't know. Like it was very, I don't know. The refereeing for sure was something that caught the attention of many people. Like I had guys that were watching the game that I'm buddies with that are like, man, what is going on here? But it is what it is. That's the nature of basketball. Good teams learn to play around that. But I think one of the things that we could certainly take from that too is there's a lot of bite in this team. Like that team didn't roll over and die. In the past, we would see teams where it's kind of like, okay, we're down. We just blew the lead. Everything's not going our way. What's for post-game meal, right? Instead, this team was like,
Right.
wow, we're hungry for the win. We want to eat now. And that's something that you certainly want to see from a team.
Yeah, I think this was a great test for the team, and I think it's an even more impressive victory because both teams finally had some tape on each other, and especially because this is the second time that they met each other. So now Brampton is up 2-0 on Ottawa for the series, and that'll play important towards the end of the season when it comes to seedings and comes to the if it comes to tiebreakers or anything. So it's very very important that they got this one on the road after getting the first one at home. But I just like that they got punched in the face. Third game in, and they were able to come out on top. And also very important for Shawnee's to get his first target score winner, first of many I'm sure through the course of the season.
And I'm burying the lead here. This is horrible journalism and media. Head coach Serta, technical foul. Asked him yesterday. His
Yo, good
first,
job by you, Serta. You earned it.
yeah, that's what I said. I'm on the sideline. I'm like, yeah, take him, tee him up. First ever technical in his basketball career, playing or coaching. So I said to him, "What happens there? How did you feel?" And he said, "Oh well, I started this thing where we have this thing on the team where we throw money into a pot if something doesn't go right. So if someone's late or they miss something or like a technical or whatever it may be, they throw $50 into this pot. And then at practice, they shoot for it, half court shots, and
Mm.
whoever hits it takes it. So they were saying the player development coach won it one week, and then Sean East, of course, wins won Serta's $50, which I don't know. You know what? They did say, D, that you and I could shoot if we wanted. And I said, well, I'll see you there tomorrow, 6.5 hours before the game to start getting loose.
I don't want to take their lunch money, man. I don't. That's unfair. I don't want to do that to them.
You eat small lunches
I got
anyway.
a mean half court shot, you know.
So that's actually
No,
the
but you,
perfect segue.
but I love that. There's two things I love about that. First of all, a coach that's like, and sometimes there's boneheaded technicals, and I mean, as a fan, sometimes technicals concern you when it comes to coach. But for me, it's like a guy's willing to fight for you. And
Mhm.
we've heard how passionate he is, so you love to see it, especially in a game like that where maybe I don't know what point in the game it had happened, if it was when Ottawa was making their run while Brampton was giving up her lead. So, but it's stuff like that that can shift momentum. And while it might look bad, sometimes it's what the team needs to understand the severity and how important it is that they don't give up their stand, right? So shout out to Coach Serta, and then also, like, I love little initiatives like that because it's an opportunity to, like, in the heat of the moment, it sucks, but then you can have a laugh at looking back and make light
Yeah.
of it. So shout out to them for doing that.
Yeah, keeps everybody accountable, right? And he did say it was kind of intentional, where it was like to keep the refs accountable, kind of thing, to make sure that they're in their right state of mind, refing the game, and not only are they playing against themselves at times, but they can't be playing against everybody, right? So, which, like I was going to say, leads us perfectly into the next game, which was Monday night.
And
Brampton
and
beat.
I don't think you pointed this out, but this is the first time the Honey Badgers started out 3-0 after that
Yep,
game, right?
absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One, two, three. This third time I'm trying this now. This leads us into our next game. First time I've ever been shut down 3 times.
Get that garbage out of here.
Yeah. All right, Jack. They play Winnipeg on Monday night. They hosted them. They improved to 4-0, 96-92 win. There was a lot going on in this game, D. We had the debut, much anticipated debut of big man Keon Ambrose Hilton, Sean East's partner in crime in Edmonton last year. We had Teddy Allen go off, and then we had Teddy Allen literally go off the
Go
court.
off.
We had another Serta technical, and then we had a free throw line winner. So I'm going to let you start here with whichever of those topics you want to talk about first.
I just, following the game from an outsider, watching the highlights and the box score, real back and forth affair, a nail biter in target time, and I'm sure you could speak more to that. Obviously, it helps a lot when a guy like Teddy Allen comes out of the game that late in the game, and certainly benefits you. And it obviously Brampton was able to take advantage of that. But just looking at this box score, right? Shawnee's 23 points, 50% from the field, 7 assists, doing what he does. But this Cameron Tyson, man, 7 for 8 from 3-point land. He took no twos in this game and then hit the target score free throws at the end of the game. Like, this guy is a flamethrower. Like, what is it like watching him?
It's unreal. It's like I keep going back to what John Ross said to us. Like, he plays as if like there's no clock. Like, it's just like,
Mm.
I know I need to score, I know I wanna score, and I know I can score kinda thing. Um, he was unreal. I mean, he tied Christian Vital's former record and almost, tied his own current record, which was 8 threes in a game that he set in the opener this year, but he was unbelievable. Like, I just don't know how to really frame it any better. And it's good too because it takes the pressure off of, let's say, Keon Ambrose Hilton making his debut. Didn't really blend really well to start. He had 6 boards,
And he
which
came
was
off the
good.
bench as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. So there's obviously going to be some growing pains there. I mean, the team's been clicking, but the one thing that was noticeable too is the fact that they could just plug a guy in like that and still have success. And again,
Mhm.
he was all over the court too. Like, he's an athletic freak. Like, he can run, he can jump, he
Changes
can
shots with
stretch.
his height.
Yeah, like, he was 1 for 8 from the field, I think 3 points, but at the same time too, I would just be looking at how well he fits in chemistry-wise, and he did. We saw the pick and roll with East a couple of times. We saw him big on the boards. He wasn't getting in the way of anybody. So you may look at the box score and be like, "Well, I don't know if that's Keon Ambrose Hilton," but it certainly felt like a Keon Ambrose Hilton kinda game, from the energy standpoint.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to Matthew Moncrief, who's kind of just been this unsung hero in all these games. He's been pretty consistent, throughout all these games, behind Sean East and Tyson. 15 points, 8 rebounds. It's just, Matt, it's just the potential. This team is so scary, right? Like, they're doing all this without two major players. Now one of them has joined the team, and once we see Jameer join this squad, it's gonna be scary. Can we go deep down into nerd corner for a second? I've got some stats after four games that I'd love to share with you. So, two undefeated teams left: Brampton, Scarborough. They don't meet till June 27th, which I'm sure is going to be a game that people have circled on the calendar. But Brampton has a chance to be the first team in the Eastern Conference to start out 5-0. Am I correct on that? Yes, so first opportunity to do that, and also go after the record and go 6-0. We won't count our chickens before they're hatched, but that's great. That's great if for head coach Serta and this basketball team. The Sean, the two early Sean East MVP case already, eighth in scoring, 50% from the field, 48% from three, top 10 in the league in free throws. That's one that I like to see a lot. You love when your stars get into the line, so that's top 10 in made and attempts. Third in assists per game, fourth steals per game, and he's tied for first in. So the only thing that's concerning about that, he's tied for first in turnovers per game. So if you can bring that number down, that'll
Mhm.
be helpful. But if you look at all the guys that are top 5 for assists, they're all averaging more than 3 turnovers per game, right? When you have the ball that much, you're going to turn over, you're going to make a couple of bad decisions. But what's great about that is
Yeah.
once Jameer's in the fold, he's going to take away some of that ball pressure away from Sean East. Now, overall as a team, second best plus minus, fourth in field goal percentage. What I'm learning about this team, and you're probably seeing it, and we've talked about it with Tyson already. This team seems to be going to be living and dying by the three. They're first in the league with 3 points made per game, and third in the league with attempts. So that's something that's interesting. That when we get our next player on the podcast, or if we ever have Serta back here, how much they value the three ball and why is that's so important. And we know that Serta is a statistician, right? He likes crunching the numbers, so maybe there's a theory to his madness. Assists per game, they're fourth. Offensive rebounds per game, this is the thing that impressed me, second in the league. And they're doing that with guys like Prince and none of their starters. I think once they have Ambrose, who was top 10 rebound in the league last year, that number is going to go only higher. They're third overall. So I just wherever you want to be good in right now, like the statistical categories you want to be good, they're thriving in it, right? And I didn't even talk about steals per game. They're first in the league, and what's scary is once they get Jameer, who led the league last year with 3 steals per game, they're only going to get better on defense, and they're fifth right now, and that's a number that I think should go higher with Ambrose back in the fold. So numbers wise, again, not to get too excited too early, but 4 games in, you're starting to see the blueprints and what's going to make this team successful and what
Yeah,
has made them successful.
the math is certainly mathing. I think too, like, this is like a nutty, again, like, we salivate over how good this team is right now, but, like, people have to understand how rough it's been the last 3 years. The pieces have kind of been there, but, like, it's like, "Oh, yeah, you got, like, 4 of the 10 pieces." Well, we're missing 6, so we're never gonna win. That kind of thing.
And
Like, and it's slowly changing to the point where now it's like, well, you see these, it's not like we're seeing like, hey, there's one stat category that's really good. This is like this team was near bottom of the league in every single stat
so
category last season.
if someone's new to the Honey Badger experience, like just to give you proof of concept of how tortured this fan base has been for the last couple seasons. So hit the high and won that championship in 2022 in Hamilton. Then this team came over to Brampton. Since then, we've posted an 8-12 record, a 6-14 record, and then a record that we want far dusted into the deep shadows and just like lock it away, never want to see it. We were 5-19 last year. Like it's been tough. So I mean, pardon us, excuse us for being really excited. We just haven't seen quality basketball from this team in a long time.
And you know what, too? Like, you just came off the back of talking about that MVP, too early MVP race. But just to touch on, and this is a shout out to the league in general, look at the matchups we've had so far. Like, there have been potential guard MVP matchups in all of these games. Javonte Smart twice, Teddy Allen once, Evan Gilliard, like even Matthew Cleveland put him in the mix on Ottawa too. Like, there are so many guys in this league now. Like we were saying, like every team has a star. Every team has
Mm,
one guy that you could circle and be like, yeah, you know what? Like, you know how in baseball they used to do the all-star thing where it was like every team, or I think they still do it. Every team has to send a player. Well, there were
yeah,
years in this league where it was like, if we had to do that, I don't know who we'd send. Like potentially, like, well, there's a guy, but there were never like some teams would never have clear cut guys. Now it's like
right.
every single team doesn't have one, but they have a couple guys they could send. This Brampton team right now, like I was thinking about it yesterday, and there are probably like 3 guys on this team right now that you could put up for MVP consideration. And I say that like I don't even really say that lightly. Like I think Tyson, I think Cam Tyson, I think Tyrese Hunter and Sean East could all easily be in that category. And then you have Moncrief with double double machine. Like there is a plethora of skill on this team like no other. And that's where you're kind of seeing that. So like it's not even like, oh, we got someone coming into town. The focus is going to be on the other team now because Teddy Allen's in the building. But now it's like, no, Teddy Allen has to come in and play Brampton. It's not like
Mm,
Winnipeg is coming in to play a team and they're going to roll them now. Like it is totally flipped. So the MVP thing is like Sean East, I think will always be in that conversation, but there are even more guys now where it's like the glimpses we've seen are positive. The thing that made me laugh yesterday, where Joe and I were talking about on the broadcast of how the MVP look of East and Allen, and it's going to be they were Joe's players to watch. And then Teddy got a technical. I think he was very, very, very calm and like good under pressure. He wasn't talking smack, anything. But then he gets a technical after having like 11, I think, in the first quarter, 11 points. And then went quiet in the second, technical, and then got an unsportsmanlike foul to end the game. That's what led to Cam Tyson's free throws to end it. But and then he ultimately you get kicked out for that with the technical. So it kind of unraveled, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, like the MVP or potential MVP candidates out of the game, and the former MVP 2023, he's gone. But I'm like, wait, we still have all these Honey Badgers guys to watch. So it's
mm-hmm.
not like in the past, I feel like we'd watch and it'd be kind of like you wouldn't lose interest, but it's like, oh man, the one guy that like it's like watching your movie guy. It's like you like Brad Pitt. You see Brad Pitt in the
Love Brad
preview.
Pitt.
You see him in the preview, the trailer, whatever it is, whatever they call those these days. And then you get to the movie theater and it's like me playing his character. And it's like, oh, I don't want to watch that. Where the hell's Brad Pitt? Well, you're stuck with me, right? Like difference now is you show up, that character's not there, but there's a supporting cast of other guys on Brampton that you could watch, and you love to just kind of see that style of basketball from them too. Like you're always in for a treat with this Brampton team. That's the point I'm making. And never watch a Brad Pitt movie either because you could see me.
No, this might be our segue to our next conversation, but it's kind of poetic that again, don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but if Brampton should come away victorious on Thursday against Montreal, start the season 5-0 and start and tie the record set by Vancouver in 2025 when they started the season 5-0, and Edmonton in 2021 when they started 5-0. Brampton will have a chance to make history and start 6-0, and they'll have to do it against Vancouver, and they're going to have to earn it. And you're talking about MVP candidates. Well, there's a guy in Vancouver right now who's making a lot of noise for those Bandits in house. And what a matchup! What that's appointment viewing. If you're a not even a CBL basketball fan, if you're a basketball fan in general, to see House and Sean East go to go head to head, and you don't think that Kyle Julius is going to come into that game knowing that they have a chance to break their record? I mean, after that last interview that we saw against Calgary, that guy, he reads stuff. He definitely reads stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get the impression too that Vancouver's a little chapped. From last season, obviously, like if you caught that Julius interview that D is talking about, Chris Wiggins was on the call there and asked head coach Julius.
Chris who? I never heard of him.
Neither have I. Chris Andrew Wiggins. He was on the call there, and he was on the sideline reporting duty, and he asked head coach Julius about if he liked Calgary or if he has if there's any love lost there, and he said I basically don't like him. And then Chris went over and asked Evan Gilliard on the other side before. This is what they said. What do you think? And he said, "Oh, you know what? I'm here to play basketball and whatever." And but the back and forth, like that game last year, for those that tuned in, it was a 105-103 conference final that ended. Some people thought it was controversial. Others thought it was the way that it should have ended. I think one team thought it was good. The other team obviously didn't think it was good. But yeah, but I like that though. Like we talked about this before, D. Like I want that.
Poke the bear.
We talked about Serta getting a technical. Serta got a technical yesterday too on the Monday game, so it was a second technical. So that's another $50 in the pot. I'm shooting again. But there was like a Teddy Allen unsportsmanlike foul that pulled down Tyson, and Serta runs out onto the court, or I shouldn't say runs, but he makes his way out on the court, and he's letting the Winnipeg bench have it, and he's making sure that you don't do that to our guy. Like I don't care if it's the first guy or the last guy on the bench. Like don't go after our guys, and that's a sign of a coach that has the back of their players. That's what I think Julius is like too. Like Julius is competitive, man. These guys want to win. Like Vancouver has been one of the, if not the best team in the regular season a number of years. And they haven't hit that spot where they've gotten that final trophy to put up on the old mantle here. But I think that's like kind of rubbing them the wrong way now. Like they want that. And I mean, it's cliche, like everybody wants to win, but these guys particularly think they got robbed last year, and they might have a bit of a gripe. It depends who you ask. But I think it's building to the point now where they have incredible pieces. They have a bit of a window now. Niagara's won back-to-back, and they're always a threat. But then you also have Brampton too. So it's an incredibly tough window, I should say. So it's a tough mountain to climb.
Yeah, I mean, just to speak to Vancouver's sustained success over the last couple of seasons, they finished 19-5 last year. The year prior to that, 20-14. In 2023. Bit of a down year for them. Yeah, that wasn't a great year, but like I said, they've had the best record in the last 2 years. So, and actually, that's when Kyle Julius came back, right? That's when things kind of started to turn for them. And so, yeah, they're hungry. And Kyle Julius doesn't take these sort of things lightly, and it's all bulletin board material for him. So if he sees going into that game Saturday that Brampton has not lost a game yet, well, it's not going to happen on his watch. So he's going to come out, and I get to be the lucky guy that interviews him at halftime. So you can imagine I'm just really looking forward to that.
Oh, don't screw it up. That game will be part of the 4-game homestand that's going on right now. Of course, that opened with Winnipeg on Monday, Montreal Alliance on the 28th, which is the Thursday, Bandits on the Saturday, and then Edmonton on, I believe it's the Monday of next week, if I am correct. Maybe not. Might have screwed the dates up. It's June 3rd. As soon as the calendar turns in a month, I forget.
It's on Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, of course. I don't use Google Calendar. And
folks, the fun thing I've learned in the past week is Matt doesn't like to carry out a calendar, and that's why he's always late for our appointments.
No, don't like it. I'm a day-by-day kind of guy. Speaking of day-by-day, Montreal in town on Thursday. That's 11 a.m. That's a school day game. Are you a fan of those games, D? It's like 1,000 screaming kids.
As
Be
listen,
careful, be
as no, no,
careful.
no. If as someone, if you gotta, there's two
Oh,
different
this is a
versions of
long
me,
answer
right?
already. This is a long answer
I love
already.
them as a fan. If I'm going to the game, the environment is electric. It's contagious. I love tossing a good old 6, 6, 7 every now and then, like these kids like to do.
Yeah.
A couple baby sharks out there when they're playing. As a broadcaster, it's a nightmare, and you know what I'm talking about. You're shouting when you don't really like you. It's one of those things where it's like you feel like you need to shout, but then you're almost harming on the viewers a little bit by doing it, but it's like you can't hear yourself think, so you got to talk louder than you actually think you have to. Like there's just so many different things that go through your head as a broadcaster in a school day game.
It's a lot. It's very loud, yeah, but it's exciting. You know what? I mean, it's a chance for kids to and I was on the call for the Scarborough school day game the other day, the second of the two to start the season. Um, in the ends, it was awesome. I mean, again, it's a lot of fun. It's really loud, and but at the same time too, it makes you happy that that kids get the opportunity to come and see basketball. But
And like on a serious note, like we talk about how important these sort of things are on a grassroots level, and when a
yeah,
kid comes in there that young and sees professional basketball in their backyard, 10 minutes, 5 minutes away from their school, and know that that's something that's attainable and that they can be them one day. Like kids are impressionable, so it's really really important that they get the exposure now, and it's cool that we have a league like this where their dreams could come true.
absolutely. So we're hoping for a good crowd on Thursday, and then Saturday night is the
Can I
Vancouver
add
Bandits
one
game.
more caveat? We talk about all these elite players coming in. We've got another MVP caliber guy coming in town with Javon Freeman Liberty, who's box office draw and should provide a lot of highlights in that game as well.
Lots of talk about him, which is awesome. That should be an exciting. Like I said, every team's got a guy right now, and that makes every single CEBL game exciting. If you're in a local market or you have to drive a little bit, it's worth the trip. Trust me, trust us. Um, you could not beat it right now. So, what else would you rather be doing in the summer? Check out some Canadian hoops. Okay, D, we mentioned off the top of the podcast that we are making history. Well, how about we witness that history right now? It's time now for our first ever Target Score crossover episode with the fellas from out west. Enjoy the chat, everybody. All right, it's the Fantastic Four, Andrew Savory and Chris Wiggins from the West Coast, Best Coast. Welcome. Yeah, throw it up, Chris. I don't even know what that means.
Isn't that like Avengers or something like that?
I don't know. It's something weird. D definitely has a poster up on his wall. Fellas, thanks for joining. We're glad to be talking to you today. What's going on? You guys have internet on the West Coast, I hear? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, we do have internet on the West Coast. We have Wi-Fi, yeah. However, Bell is horrible on the West Coast. I'm a freelancer with Bell, so Bell, don't listen to this. Bell is horrible on the West
Wow,
Coast.
there goes a
It's
potential
awful.
sponsor.
Yeah,
No kidding. No,
when
no
I moved
kidding.
out, I
I'm like,
switched from Rogers to Telus. Like it happens. I don't know what it is. Connectivity out here is terrible. You go on a hike and you might as well not come home. You're just stuck there.
smart man. Smart. I'm literally walking around my house like this trying to find a signal sometimes. It's bad. It's bad.
Just brutal. All right, guys, the purpose of this joint venture here to preview the Vancouver Bandits and Brampton Honey Badgers game, which is happening on Saturday. That is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. CBC Gem, YouTube through CEBL and CBC pages. This is going to be a heck of a game. Vancouver 3-1 record. Brampton undefeated, one of the two undefeated teams left in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. They are 4-0. 14th all-time meeting between these two teams. Vancouver leading the series 7-6. Chris, why don't you start us off? What has the Vancouver season been like so far? How are you guys kind of rolling on the West Coast?
Man, it's been weird. Honestly, the word is weird. Like these guys were off to a kind of an interesting start. 1-1 on the first road trip. Blew out the first, the new look Saskatoon Mamba, and then they kind of ran into some stingy defense in Edmonton. They got their revenge when Edmonton came back to LEC. Then they, took care of business against Calgary Surge. I think they're still trying to find a little bit of their identity. However, I think they're in tough against this Brampton Honey Badger squad, man. Like I see the 4-0 record above your head. Like I think you're gonna be adding to that number on the left a few more times this season. Vancouver, like many teams, are waiting for a number of guys to show up. Kyle Julius is very candid about that. And you know, with all due respect to some of the guys that are on the bench right now, some of them are placeholders, and I think they probably know that. There's some big names that I'm not sure if we can say on the podcast, but that are coming back. You'll recognize some of them. You know, they've been here before. So it'll be interesting to see how, you know, that kind of plays out over the next few weeks. But yeah, it's been weird. It's been a weird start, you know, but they made up for it last weekend with that 2-0 homestand over Edmonton and Calgary. Savory, what are you seeing as well?
Yeah, I mean, I often like to say the CBL is like a tale of three seasons. You have like your start of season roster, you have your middle season when they go to summer league, and then you have your end of season roster that's making that playoff push. And you may have some U Sports guys filling in, a couple G League guys to start, but like I think the Bandits had a quick pull the plug after that game against Edmonton. Like Chris, you were there out of practice right after. I think Kyle said it was one of the worst games he's ever coached in a Bandits uniform since he joined the league in 2020. And like the Bandits still have that high octane offense. Like I think they're averaging around 112 points a night, but their defense is also allowing a bit. So at some points they're going to have that offensive sputter, and it's going to be, is their defense going to pick up the slack? Right now it's not. They've struggled with a little bit of isolation basketball. The offense is a ton of fun to watch, but I think when they come into Niagara and Brampton, I think this East Coast road trip is really going to put them to the test. I think it's coming at the right time. I think Edmonton was a gut punch, but I think Brampton and also Niagara and Ottawa is a really tough swing for this team.
D, I'll say this to you as well. Like, how far can this Brampton Honey Badgers team go? I don't think Vancouver has enough guys defensively to contain Sean East II, contain, you know, Ambrose Hilton. I don't think there's enough guys, you know, on Vancouver that, like, quite frankly, like they've struggled defensively, and Kyle's made that, you know, very, very clear. You know, they've tried to clean up a lot of things defensively over the last couple of games. How far can this Honey Badgers team go?
Yeah, I think Matt and I just keep talking about how the roof for this team is so high, and I think coming out of the gate and starting 4-0 was a big surprise to us. Just because, you know, we knew what Sean East was capable of, but we didn't know what the pieces around him would look like. And the fact that, you know, Keon just suited up in his first game, coming off the bench, looked a little rusty. Obviously, you know, he's got a chemistry and relationship with Sean that's that we're gonna see, you know, flourish throughout the course of the season. But then like they're adding Jameer Nelson, and like this team is already good on defense. It's already tops in the league in steals, and then you add last year's league leader in steals to this team. Like this team is really, really built identity on defense. And, you know, talking to Serta, that was kind of a priority to him. And, you know, with the past teams that he's coached, they've always been top efficient offensive team, but it's the defense that kind of gets slept on. And I think the really exciting thing for me about this matchup is you talked about the offense and how great this offense is. And, you know, Jalen House has been this revelation, which I'd love to talk to you guys about, but they're coming into a Brampton building where, you know, they're the best team on defense. So, you know, whose offense is going to click, right? Both teams love to shoot the three. I think they're 1 and 2 and threes, knocking down. They're both in the top three, and knocking down triples. So I think both these teams are going to live and die on the three, and it's going to be a matter of who's able to get those stops on the perimeter. And, you know, Matt, I know, you know, you've been talking a lot about, you know, some of the pieces on the side, like Tyson, for example, went 7 for 8 from 3-point land, didn't take a single two. And that's kind of been his MO. And he's just been such a great surprise for this team.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a couple of numbers at you fellas, if you don't mind. Big numbers guy over here. The math is about to math. Under 80 points, that Vancouver-Edmonton game, that was shocking to me. I feel like I don't want OLG to come after me, but if I bet that and hit that, I would be recording this in this house and sleeping in the house beside me that I did purchase my winnings. That was crazy that Vancouver hit under 80 points in a game. I thought that was stunning. But sometimes you need that kind of kicking from behind. And then D, you were talking about Cam Tyson. So 66 points for Tyson on the season have come from three. He has 72 total points. So
it's crazy.
All but 6 of his points have come from 3-point land, which is crazy to me. The supporting cast for Brampton is obviously like unbelievable. And D and I were talking about this. If you're catching this on our pod, we talked about how this is like the first year in a long time where like if Vancouver came in the building last year, it was like, okay, well, Vancouver's here. We're here to watch Vancouver and Brampton. Well, now it's like we're here to watch Brampton and Brampton. And anybody who comes in has to beat Brampton kind of thing, which has changed the perspective for a lot of people, I think, in the CEBL, and most importantly, players, coaching staff, and how they deal with these kind of matchups now too, right? It's kind of a different ball game. But You guys mentioned a couple names. Jalen House, 30 points per game, 10 assists per game. Unbelievable. Sean East, 24 points per game, 9 assists per game. Also unbelievable. These are two kind of MVP candidates. So, Chris, I'll toss this back to you. Jalen House is from a distance, at least on this side of the country, looks like he's as advertised stats wise. What goes into his game? What would kind of catch your attention if you were a fan of another team watching him? Like, how would you kind of describe his play?
And Chris, if I can add to what Matt's
please
asking
do.
you,
Please do.
Did you guys see this coming? Like, I'm sure Kyle was high on him, but did you ever expect it to be on this level?
No, it's funny you say that because I remember talking to Kyle during that university, like the Bandits University Combine, and I was like, okay, this roster looks a lot different than last year. Obviously there's some guys that are coming, and he was like, yeah, we've got a contract in front of somebody that if they sign, I think can be an MVP, level guy again, Mitch Creek level guy again. And that's all he said. And I didn't know where that was going to go. Clearly that's Jalen House, and it's funny. Like sometimes I think he gets really, really dribble heavy. He, when he makes paint touches, like everything collapses and he can kick out. What's crazy is the guy set a new single CEBL game record with 17 assists. The same game, he scored 32 points. He's our leading scorer, right? And I'm like, okay, this guy's he's taking 30 shots. Like, he's taking too many shots. And I look down, and I'm like, the guy had 17 assists.
Yeah.
Like, he's still distributing as well as he's scoring, which is mind-blowing to me because sometimes it feels like he takes way too many shots. And then I look down, and he's got 12 assists in the third quarter. I'm like, what's happening? Xavier, are you seeing the same thing?
It's funny. To put that in perspective, you hit it. He had, 12 of 30 that night, scored 30 points, 17 assists. But the Bandits alone only took 89 shots that night, and he took literally technically more than 33% of them, which is just nuts. So you think about how do you rack up 17 times while doing that. But like, you look at his overseas stats, he's the son of NBA lore. Obviously, you have Eddie House as his dad, Mike Bibby as his uncle. Who knows? Maybe we get a Mike Bibby sighting out on the West Coast. That'd be pretty cool. So we better be listening. But I also want to know, when I look at Brampton, you guys talked about Cam Tyson and also Matthew Moncrief. Both these guys played for Seattle U, I believe. I know Matthew is from Toronto, of course, but then Cam is from Bothell, Washington. But you guys are bringing these West Coasters over. So for those who enjoyed watching them at Seattle but are now watching them in Brampton, like, what's the scouting report on these guys? It seems like Matthew's all over the glass, and then Cam's just filling it up from deep. It's crazy. 5.5 threes a game.
Yeah, D, I'm just gonna bring out the fake notes really quick to give these guys throw them off track a little bit here. I can start with Cam Tyson. Cam Tyson has actually a really cool story. So we're talking about talking to assistant GM John Ross, who was with Calgary last year as an assistant coach. He's the man. Experience with the Portland Trailblazers, Rip City Remix. So he's a West Coast guy, originally from Indiana. So he made his way out there, kind of cut his teeth, and then came back this way in the form of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. But he tells a cool story about Cam Tyson, of how when he went to go recruit and kind of scout for the team, he went with Rock, Jermaine Anderson, the team's GM, and they went to G League camps, and they were told, watch these guys, watch these guys, watch these guys. But then the guy's name that kept coming up was Cam Tyson. That was the one name that kept coming up. And they were like, well, no, you got to watch this guy. And sure, there were names up here and this and that, but Tyson may have been shuffled a little lower in the deck. But they kept saying he's coming off a year of injury, but he's got so much talent. Well, then again, it came around to the roster build time, and they were like, okay, well, let's take a shot at Cam Tyson. And now they're going to be stuck with a pretty hard decision when they get some of these players coming in, because it's like, okay, you only have limited spots, as we all know, with CEBL roster construction rules. But it's kind of funny because it seemed like the impression was he was almost kind of going to be like a fill-in guy, and now he's like the man. The scouting report for him is literally remove the three-point line and just let him rack up twos. That's literally the only, like, he's allergic to anything inside the perimeter or inside the three-point line. So it's hard to, like, I know in the game on Monday night, he hit I think it was a baseline inbound, and he caught the ball in the corner and shot it with like no time on the shot clock, and he was fading out of bounds, and it was like something that literally would have had D clapping in the movie theater kind of vibe. But he's unreal. Like, he just jacks threes and hits from wherever he wants. And John Ross said to us too, like, he doesn't care about the time on the clock. Like, he's just playing. He doesn't care. He doesn't think. He just plays. So I guess the cliche answer as someone who doesn't have to defend him would be just don't let him get the ball. D, I think you may agree with that, I would say.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember you talked about Jermaine Anderson, and when we went to training camp, I asked him right away. I'm like, "Who's the guy that we got to keep our eye on?" Obviously, aside from Sean East, and Tyson was the guy that he was just like salivating over. He couldn't stop talking about him, and just his professionalism, and his urge to prove everyone wrong, and him knowing that he'd have to come in and be a role player, and he's excelling at it. Like he's just the ultimate utility guy for them. And I'm interested to see, once Jameer comes into the mix, how he handles that, because obviously there's only so many mouths you can feed. But I love the fact that he's taking advantage of all the time that he's getting right now.
And I will add to that too. Quick scouting report on Moncrief before I ask you guys a question on the Bandits supporting fellas. But Moncrief is just like everywhere. That guy's impossible. He's another freak athlete that, like, he's so dodgy and so quick. He can slam it. He can D it up. He can shoot. He can do everything. So yeah, my best scouting report for you guys, which is pretty clear, don't let him get the ball. But we talked about our supporting cast, so Tyson, Moncrief. What about Tyrese Samuel? 21 points a game, 9 rebounds per game. That seems like a pretty good piece there for House to kind of rely on.
It's funny that you call him a supporting piece when he could easily give Mitch Creek a run for his money for MVP last year, right? But I know what you're saying. He seemed like a sideshow compared to House this year.
I think when you look at Tyrese, like obviously Canadian Player of the Year last year, but I think, and this has been identified, Chris, you've heard it in the huddle, when Tyrese actually brings the ball up the floor, it makes him so dynamic. Obviously, if there's pressure on him, they're not going to run that. But when he's able to get it up into like a half court set, and then he kind of hands it off, and then they're into a pick and roll, and he's actually rolling, but he's already brought the ball up. I think he's one of the most mobile bigs in the league. I think when they slow it down and he's catching it on the block and he has to do like a reverse and he's not playing with pace, his game is going to probably strip down to like 12 points, 8 boards. But when Tyrese is playing mobile and the Bandits are out on the run, it's a totally different dynamic. And I think that a lot of that comes down into like how many fouls does he have as well. I think if he's like below 3 at the half, obviously that's where you got to be. And then he's kind of at that 3-4 at the end of the game, not getting too close to 5. It's going to allow him to stay on the floor and play mobile and free. But Chris, you let me know what you think.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I almost feel like Tyrese needs more touches, which is crazy to say, right? Like, and it's because Jalen House is being Jalen House. But you're right. I mean, he spreads the floor, he extends the floor. He's a mid range to a 3-point shot from the corner or wherever he catches it. Like you kind of have to guard Tyrese. He's going to knock down the open 3 if he gets a look, and then he's just so dangerous in the pick and roll, especially with a guy like Jalen House. And then you bring in like Jarkel Joyner, who is also, a threat off the pick and roll with Tyrese. And so it's interesting, it was our first kind of look at Joyner, on Sunday afternoon. And he fit right in. Like I didn't know how that, like, high usage point guard with high usage point guard would look like, but he fit right in. And so it'll be interesting to see, like, maybe Jalen goes off to NBA, summer league and Joyner is there to slide in. We're waiting on Shamar Gibbons. Like, they've got those ball handling, talented point guards that can also score. And then we know, guys like Jalen, Jarkel Joyner, we know Shamar Gibbons, who also led the Bandits in assists last year, can distribute the rock as well. If I can go back to Jameer Nelson Jr. to you guys, D, maybe I'll throw this at you. Where is this how is Jameer Nelson Jr. going to fit into this group? Like, I know you already talked about, like, who's going to get the touches, like there's so many mouths to feed. Like, how is he going to add to this Brampton Honey Badgers group? Like, they're loaded on paper. And when you bring Jameer Nelson Jr. in, like, they're going to be even better. Like that, again, that 4-0 is going to 5-0, 6-0. Like, it's just going to keep climbing. First of all, when is he going to arrive? And what is he going to bring?
Yeah, so I think we've been told sometime in June. I think on the back end of June is when we are expecting to see him. So still some time till we see what that looks like. I've already talked about defensively. Like I think these guys are going to put guys in like teams in his steel trap. So I'm like really excited about that. Where it gets interesting is offensively, because when he played for Calgary, he played his best basketball when he had the ball in his hands. And the problem is, the same goes for Sean East. We haven't really seen Sean play off the ball so much. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. But I mean, both these guys are capable of being on, first team all CBL. And so I have no doubt that they'll figure it out. When it gets interesting is when we get to the summer league, like you've talked about, and which of these guys is here and which guy is not there. I mean, hopefully, best case scenario for us, it's one guy goes up and one guy stays back, and we're still good and we're holding the boat afloat. But I don't know. It is an interesting question, Chris, just because I think they both need to have the ball in their hands to be effective. But I think at the end of the day, we all know that Sean East is probably taking that final shot when it comes down to the wire. Matt, would you agree?
It's interesting. Well, before you go on, Matt, sorry to cut you off. No, it's interesting because you'd think they would just continue to get better. He's just going to bring more to this group. But at the same time, there's more mouths to feed, like you've said. There's more guys that want to get touches, that want to score. Maybe Jameer can take a little bit of a distributing role. Who knows? But on paper, they're insanely good.
Mm-hmm. Matt?
Yeah. Well, sorry, I was waiting. I just wanted to see. I'm awake. Don't worry. It's 9:30 in the East Coast right now. I'm dozing off a little bit. No, it's honestly we talked to the guys there. We thought the same thing was going to happen with Keon Ambrose Hilton, right? And we talked to the coaches and front office staff, and they basically said to us, "Look, there will be a time where we could have Prince Odro, Matthew Moncrief, and Keon Ambrose Hilton on the court at the same time." So I imagine it's applicable to the guards too, where it's we have such depth and opportunity to run these guys on the floor. I mean, it's foolish not to try it. And then I think it's kind of take the best medicine, what the best rotation is, what the best lineup is, and roll from it or roll with it from there. I'm gonna toss a couple numbers at you guys before I hit you with a curveball. What's the team?
Wow, you really like numbers, eh?
What is it? I'm a huge numbers guy, man. I'm a huge numbers guy. 4-0.
It's the Serta effect.
What's the baseball team? What's the baseball
Vancouver
team?
Canadians.
Vancouver Canadians. Yeah, I'm gonna throw you 12-6 like the Canadians. The Vancouver Bandits, 106 points per game, first in the CEBL. Brampton allows a league best 85 points per game. So top offense against best defense, as we alluded to. All right, we're going to start with Andrew. We'll go D, then we'll go Chris. Andrew, score prediction and who wins on Saturday, Bandits or Honey Badgers?
I mean, if I was being a coach and I wanted to be a little bit solid in this, I'd be I'm not looking past Friday against Niagara. But yes, I will answer this question.
Yeah, I know we're all just disrespecting the teams in between because we've got Montreal on Thursday as well.
It is 3 games in 5 days. So if the Bandits drop it, maybe there's a bit of fatigue, but there also is a big talent thing. I'd say, you know what? I'm going to say it's going to be 93-88 Vancouver. And game winner is courtesy of Mike Mulder.
Oh, game winner. I like that curve. Nice.
Okay. Wow, we're waiting for a Mike Mulder breakout game too. I like it. And you called the Miller Kopp breakout game a couple of games ago, so I'll give you your flowers for that. Honestly, man, I think they're in tough with Brampton. I really do. I think Brampton's going to hold down home court. I'll go 102-87. Brampton. I just think defensively, Vancouver's not there yet. They've had some lapses over the last couple of games, despite some victories on the home floor. When they break down defensively, they break down bad. And I think if that happens against Brampton, they're going to be in big trouble.
This is so tough.
Here we go. This is going to be the longest answer we ever hear.
Hey, we don't need a Christopher Nolan.
All right, I'll be back in 20
here.
And so where I struggle is the score. I don't know if I'm going to be expecting a high scoring game or a game where these two teams buckle down and play defense, because I think they both know in order to be successful that they're going to have to play defense really well. But the thing that I can't get past and I can't underestimate and understate. That's the word I'm looking for. Is the Kyle Julius factor of all this, right? We've all gotten to know Kyle Julius quite well. Chris more so than anyone because you love to poke the bear. We can talk about that Calgary game later.
I'm glad you figured that out.
But Brampton has an opportunity on Thursday to become the first Eastern Conference team to go 5-0 to start a season 5-0. So then Saturday they could become the first team to start out 6-0 and the last team to start out 5-0. Both the Edmonton Stingers and you guys did it in 2025. And you can't tell me that Kyle's not going to slap that on a bulletin board and say, nah, that is not happening. And we want to be the guys to hand him this first loss and take him off their pedestal. As much as I want to see Brampton win, I think Vancouver comes in and gets it done. And I think it's going to be House that hits that game winner.
You know what?
Matt, we've been waiting. I know you have your biases.
We've been waiting for a Jalen House winner, man. Like, and it's almost the last couple of games. It's felt like he's like tried really hard to be the game-winning shot. You know, being that guy. So you know, you might be onto something there, D. Sorry, Matt.
I think there's a game that two guys will want to try to outduel each other. It's going to be East and House. Like, oh man, it's gonna be must-see television, man. I can't wait.
97-96, Brampton, Keon Ambrose Hilton game winner. Don't ask how.
Wow.
Don't ask why.
I know how. It's an O board. It's definitely an O board.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Brampton's number one in the league at it, so you know that would not be surprised.
Touch off the glass. That puts a finishing touch on our predictions. That puts a finishing touch on this portion of the pod. Put a bow on it, fellas. You guys ready for target time?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right,
let's do it.
Time now for our target time segment here on the Target Score Vancouver, a mix there, podcast. The first ever crossover with
Put
Target
that on
Score
a t-shirt.
Vancouver. Yeah, you know what? I got to get Joey on the line here. We got a merchandise idea. Okay, fellas, we're going to jump right into it. First question is for Chris. Chris, you cover the BC Lions. You can't say Nathan Rourke. Who is your CFL GOAT?
Ever, or like somebody who is playing currently?
Greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time.
All right. Greatest of all time is the air conditioner, Anthony Calvillo.
Oh, damn.
Former Montreal Alouette.
Screw up the history books right here.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the best mustache, right? One of the best mustaches in the game.
Yeah, he looked like Mario out there. Yeah. I used to be made fun of all the time for being that CFL fan growing up. All my friends were NFL guys. Look, as soon as you get into fantasy football, then you start falling in love with NFL. I was 28 years late on the NFL, so I'm here now. However, growing up, Montreal Alouette fan, Anthony Calvillo, Ben Cahoon, Keith Stokes, all those guys back in the day. Yes, I picked a team when my dad was like, yeah, well, pick a team. You got to be a CFL fan, pick a team. Of course, I picked a team that's winning all these championships. So Anthony Calvillo is my GOAT. I'm pretty sure he still leads professional football in yards through the air. So I'll go with Anthony Calvillo. Okay, I'm going to go next. I'm going to go with, can I go?
Yeah, just follow whoever you ask. This is the first time we've ever had people do this, so it's a little roadmap around here.
A little duck, goose. Okay, I'll go. This one's going to be for D. When Mark Cuban is sitting courtside in Brampton, what's the invention idea you're going to pitch to him?
Oh my God, the invention idea.
It's a little little impromptu Shark Tank. What are you going to pitch to him?
You know what? This idea might already be out there, and I know there's levels. I know you can do this on Snapchat. I know you can probably do this on some of the tracker apps. But I've always had this idea for an app called Are We There Yet? And you know when your friends are coming, they're like, I'm 20 minutes away, but they're actually 29 minutes away. I want an app that actually tells me how far they are, so that I can call them out and their bullshit when they're lying to me. Do
you mean like location on iPhone that has existed for?
But I want an actual app that is specifically for that reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How much money are you seeking, and how much percentage in your business?
I'm just there for the conversation, man. I don't think he's buying anything, but yeah, if there's it's gotta be the tech space, right? Yeah.
No, man, I'm out.
There, I know.
I'm out.
I think it's just a funner app name. Like, where are we there yet?
I like it. I'm in.
Okay, good. I got one investor. Okay, Andrew, your turn. Okay. I did probably much like Matt did. I scoped out your socials a bit. I went on your Instagram. I see that you play some hoops, so I want to know who your NBA or CBL comparison is.
Ooh, okay. NBA, I'll go quick. NBA, definitely like CB4. Chris Bosh got me into basketball in a big way. I'm a righty, but I definitely have like a little move on the block where I'm going to my left and I'll get like the first couple buckets, but then I'll get locked down after that and you'll never see me score again. So that's my that's my NBA comp. CEBL, I'd say it's definitely got to be blue collar because I don't have what's called a vertical jump. It's more of like a horizontal stumble. But I'd say like, who's a good blue collar guy? Lunch pail game. You know what? I would love if I had this guy's physique. And you know, I'm gonna give. I'd say Kenny Manigo from back in the day. Like he was like a steel machine for the Bandits. Played hard. Had to play PG for like the second half of the season. And I just had a lot of respect. And I'll just say it. If there was an opportunity where when the Bandits were playing Niagara in 2021, if you went for the lob instead of the floater, Bandits could have been in the finals. That's my hot take. Go back and watch it. Vancouver versus Niagara. Actually would have been Fraser Valley versus Niagara. But if Kenny went lob to Gilbeck, Vancouver's in the championship.
Can I give you a story? We talked about Jalen House, and I think, we shared in our group chat how excited I was when he joined the team because I was a big Eddie House fan. Eddie House is the reason I hiked my socks up to my knees when I used to play basketball. So if you ever see Jalen, let him know that. I might tell him on Saturday, actually.
All right, Matt, this one's coming to you. So you're hanging out with The Rock. You get to be GM. And if you had to look at one former Honey Badger to bring in for the second half of this season to take this team over the top, not currently in the roster, not announced, even if you know the top, eventually I don't want to hear it. But what former Honey Badger? I know what my answer would be.
I know my answer too.
I'm not going to give
out
we
all got to
names,
answer this one.
But what former Honey Badger gets this team a ring?
This is easy. I am going, and I'm gonna get greedy. Guard depth. I'm going Christian Vital.
That's my answer too.
I love the 3-ball shooting from Cam Tyson and company so far. Christian Vital had that record, 7 threes in a single game for the Honey Badger franchise, and then Tyson came in, broke that in his first game with 8. He actually hit 7 the other night too in the win on Monday. So I think that's a no-brainer. I'm taking Christian. He's just a good dude. That's the other thing too, right? Like you want good players, but another good ambassador for the game on and off the floor that could certainly pop a ring on the finger.
And if I can add to that, his teammate Caleb Agata was such a stud and just such a good leader in the locker room.
Agata was my pick.
Canadian guy.
Yeah,
what's your go?
Nice.
I mean, you could vouch for him as well.
I would have gone Kobe. I would have gone Kobe McEwen.
Fan favorite. Kobe McEwen.
I would have liked to seen Kobe, especially because you could tell that last year was a rough year for him, and he really wanted to work out.
I agree. It felt like he just didn't settle in. I agree.
And I think
if he had the year he had in Vancouver the year before that, he would.
We had really high hopes for him, and it's just obviously just not a great spot for him, and the ball didn't move around a lot in order for him to be successful last year. And I think under Serta's system, I just think he would have thrived.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All good picks. I'm switching the order here. I'm going back to Andrew.
We'll go reverse.
So investigative journalism, really good stuff here. Based off your Instagram account, you seem like a very outdoorsy kind of guy. I feel like that's natural for the West Coast fellas. What is your ideal nature activity in the Big V, Vancouver?
Oh gosh, I mean.
Wait, don't you mean Fraser Valley? Isn't that where they're from?
Langley is in the greater Vancouver. It's in the
little dig there, eh?
metropolitan area. Well, is Brampton
that guy
GTA?
lives downtown, man. That guy lives downtown.
It's 2 hours away. I'll never get that. I call it the Vancouver Frauders, but that's a totally different story.
It's like people know GTA, but no one knows GVRD. But Chris, you know what GVRD is.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Love to hike. Once upon a time, actually, shout out Brandon Gilbeck. I used to go on hikes, and he would DM me being like, when am I coming on the next hike, man? And I'd be like, dude, you're literally 7 feet. If you fall, Kyle will kill me. If I brought Gilbeck on a hike, like, it would be the biggest liability issue if I hurt that man. So yeah, definitely want to bring out anyone who comes out here on a hike. So next time Brampton's at Langley Event Center, you guys got to make the trip, and we'll do a little podcast at the top.
I think you're being a little humble too. Like, tell these guys what kind of hikes you've done. Like, it's not like, you're hiking, you're doing the grouse grind every other week. Like, talk about some of the hikes you've done. Like this, haven't you been to like Patagonia?
Yes, I did do Patagonia, but I will say the initiation for you guys will be when you come to Langley Event Center and you stand at gate 2. I'm going to point out a mountain straight ahead of you, and that's the rite of passage hike. It's called Golden Ears. It's a doozy, but you'll be a new man.
D and I only wear Patagonia. We don't.
Wait, are you guys Arc'teryx bros? Are you guys Arc'teryx?
Yeah, you'll fit in very well.
You won't catch me at Arc'teryx. That's for damn. I can barely damn say it.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. I'll keep the rotation going. D, you're entrusted this year with filling the stands. Obviously, some new front office. You got Mark Cuban. Who's one person who needs to come to a Honey Badgers game who has never been before, who's going to represent and fill the stadium if people knew that they were coming?
Drake. No, that's Scarborough. That's cheating on Scarborough.
They don't have to be from Brampton, but bonus points if they're from Brampton.
That's what I'm trying to think right now. Oh my goodness. Brampton. I feel like I'm missing something.
Producer Joey in the chat. Joe Razzo.
Joe Razzo, yeah. Oh man. I mean, honestly, like I hate that. Like Lily Singh is a good one, but she's already made her affiliations with
Tempo, right?
With the Tempo, right? But like, obviously, big South Asian community in Brampton, and you see that reflected with some of the partnerships they made. Obviously, Superfan has become an ambassador of the team as well. Yeah, like I mean, I'm reaching in my bag here, but like, there's a massive Punjabi artist called Diljit Dosanjh, and he's sold out in Vancouver, and he sold out at MSG and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a little out of category for you guys in maybe your music genre, but I think it has to be like a massive South Asian music superstar. Definitely would fill that place out. Or another TNA wrestler, because when Santino Morello or whatever his name came, I was quite shocked how many people.
Whatever his name, Santino Morello, the guy's a legend. You should know.
I know. I just I was gonna butcher his last name, but yeah, if he brings the sock puppet, like we're set. Yeah. Did you have a suggestion?
Gosh, I'm not on the Honey Badgers payroll, so I can't help.
Chris, okay, mine's a two-parter, because one's more to make fun of you, but then I have a serious one. But I'm curious. All right.
Okay.
You've made this ascent into hosting, right? You're a weather guy now. You're reporting the news. But it seems like everything you do, you'll always be in the shadows of your superstar wife. What is it like?
I knew this was
never,
coming.
Ever get to her level.
I knew this was coming. Honestly, man, when you said the ascent and hosting, I knew there was going to be something about my wife. And this is like a Colin Jost and what's his wife's name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, thank you. That's literally like the SNL joke. Honestly, man, I am totally fine with taking a backseat to her career. For those who don't know, my wife is Kat Stankovic. She danced with the Raptors for I'm gonna do the whole thing.
We love
I'm gonna do the whole thing now that you've called me out. She's danced with the Raptors for 5-10 years, was a dance pack captain. Then she did.
I don't think we have time for her resume, man.
No, man, honestly. Then she did the in-game stuff with Strizzy, and then the pandemic happened. The Raptors went to the bubble in Orlando. I took a job in BC. I was like, this is when we were dating. I was like, I'm gonna go to BC. You want to come? Like, she didn't know what was gonna happen next. And so, but to answer your question, I'm totally fine with being in her shadow. There is no resume that I can build that will top hers. And so, sometimes I feel like it's helped my career a little bit as well. And I'm totally fine with saying that.
told you, nepotism, man. It's a nasty thing.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, no, but my fun, serious question is: you're a closet R&B fan. Who are your top 3 R&B artists?
Oh man, well you know, C Breezy is up there for number 1. Yeah, I am a little bit of a closeted R&B fan. I'll go Chris Brown 1, Usher 2, Neo 3.
Yeah, you can't beat that. That's tough.
Yeah,
That's good.
You can't really beat that. And a little bit of a backstory. D posted something about a Breezy concert ticket he purchased, and I responded. I was like, man, I would do anything to go to that. We got kind of talking about our fandom, and you know, I sent him a picture of a drunken night at my cottage with some of my buddies from high school, literally ranking Chris Brown albums by hand. And he was like, I need proof. And I took a picture and I was like, I'm a closeted C Breezy guy. So that's going to be a great show. When is that show, by the way?
It's an elite list. It's Usher and Chris Brown in August.
Oh,
Can't wait, man.
God.
Yeah.
So good, man. So good. Yeah. Thank you for that, by the way. And I will mention that to Kat. That I'm glad you called me out. That's
going to be the breakout clip for Joey.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah. This one is for Matt, but I think we're all going to have an answer as well. Bonomi, the CBL call, and they say, we're going to expand. Pick a city. Coast to coast in Canada. What city's next? Who got next?
This is a great question.
Well,
I have my answer.
Yeah, I've heard some rumblings about possible spots.
He's going to say Port Dalhousie.
Port Dalhousie for
Dalhousie.
Dalhousie. It's not Dalhousie. Oh man,
English isn't my first language. Give me a break, bro.
Yeah. No comment. I think they're obvious. Like I know we've heard stuff about like potentially in Quebec City. I think Kelowna was on maybe the short list as well. If I had to pick though, I mean, I'm going to be really selfish here and keep it in Ontario. I want a team in Kitchener. I want Jamal Murray to join a group. I want like Andrew Nicholson's always at the games. It would be sick to see like SGA buy in. Like I get a group of guys that are all NBA guys that can find change in their couch to come together to buy a team. And not saying that these teams are cheap, but I mean, like for those guys, it's a perfect opportunity to fork out some cash and then build the game in their own community. Like we know how much these guys care about basketball in Canada, and again, in their own community, getting people involved. I would love to see Kitchener. I mean, I think Dean could go back to the days of Guelph where there was a little bit of a following for Guelph. I mean, there was a lot of solid, we talked about it earlier, on J. Cole making a CEBL debut in Guelph. Like there was, as a visitor, no, it wasn't a visitor, was he? Yeah, he was a visitor, right? Yeah, it was Scarborough. But like that kind of thing, like small community. And I think in Hamilton too, like it was such blue collar, hard hat work boots kind of thing. Like Canadian people will live and die for their sports, similar to what you guys would see out west, right? Like you guys have a great following in Vancouver, even the Lions. Yeah. People love these sports and they're almost protective of them. So it's almost like the smaller the community, the tighter the feel and the bigger the following, as weird as that sounds. So I would love to see Kitchener and those guys like Murray, Nicholson and SGA or something, especially Murray, because I think he's from Kitchener or in and around that area. But it would be unreal to see them fork out some dough here and make it happen.
By the way, I miss those Royal City jerseys with Guelph. They were so unreal. Good. They were so good. I know you got someone. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I didn't expect to hear Kitchener. I really like that. I like the Jamal Murray, angle with that. And I'll let Dee and Savory answer this as well. I would love to see an Atlantic Canada team. I'd love to see Halifax.
You took my answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No.
Newfoundland had a cup of coffee in the CEBL. Obviously, that didn't work out.
Yeah,
but I want to say give another shot.
I don't know. I just I love Halifax. Like selfishly, I love Halifax waterfront. Like the lower deck, like all the spots in Halifax. They've got the arena for it. I remember like that old National Basketball League of Canada. I used to do way back in the day. I used to do PA announcing for the Oshawa Power in their first season. I was like in my second year of college, driving back and forth from Niagara to Oshawa, and the Halifax Rain Man had a team.
Wait, did you say Niagara to Oshawa?
I went to Niagara College, and I would drive from Niagara, Welland, Ontario, to Oshawa to do public address announcing for the Oshawa Power. It was awesome. It was so fun, and that league was like the kind of the first taste of like what we're experiencing and what we've seen flourish with leagues in Canada. And the Halifax Rain Man had a team. I also just love the city of Halifax. I'd love to see Atlantic Canada get a team.
That's a good one. I feel actually CBL connection. I think Joey Haywood and Shane Gibson both played for the Rain Men, if I'm not mistaken.
Shane Gibson did. Gibson did for sure. He did. Yeah.
Joey Haywood, I'm pretty sure did too. Yeah. But that was going to be my pick. But now that I'm thinking about it, I really enjoyed. I don't want to say Kelowna because there's been a lot of talk. Matt, you alluded to it. Hopefully Kelly Olynyk, if you're listening, you're in Kamloops, but it's close by. So just think about organizing change. Would love to see it. I'm up on Victoria, but I would choose Kelowna first, I think. I'd love to see another revisitation to the Videotron Center, if I'm referring to that arena properly, in Quebec City. CBL Clash, for those who remember that event. The arena looked great. I think it was built with NHL aspirations, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had like 7 or 8K people there in attendance when they did that. I think that was 2023, gentlemen, unless someone corrects me, when they did Clash.
Right.
And I think Quebec City is a lot of fun. I think they got some grit. You're getting to see a lot more Quebecois players in the CBL. And I think they get a strong English-French contingent there. It'll be a lot of fun. I think they play with their heart on their sleeve. And I think it would tend pretty well, too.
KD, get creative here because I stole your answer. So I want to hear something really good.
Oh, good God. I mean, I think London would be a great city if we head west on the 401. Like, we don't have a team out that way. Yeah, I know that there's a huge basketball community there. The Western basketball program's on the rise too. So I think they would fill up. Like, you want to tap into some of these smaller markets where that's what they have. Like, that is their team. That's kind of what I know. Guelph never really sold out, but they really, really love that team, and they had a great fan base. And I think if you give it a fair shot, and you know, as I say to Matt, but he never gets the reference. But if you build it, they will come. And I think if you just kind of just give it a chance, hopefully you two get that reference, because Matt just shakes his head at me every time when I make.
I will say I'm on the same level of movie references as Matt, but I do get that one.
Okay, good, solid.
I do get
great
that
sports
one.
movie, Matt. Field of Dreams. Come on, Kevin Costner.
Hey man, I don't know what you're talking about. We're getting way too far into movies now, and then we're gonna be talking about Star Trek, and Dee's gonna be throwing up all this, whatever the heck all that.
Anyway, Vancouver, baby.
Good enough, fellas. We all hit target time winners there. Thanks for playing. You guys were awesome, and I think as long as we don't talk about movies, this won't have to be edited out. But anyway, we all hit the winners. Thanks for playing, fellas. Appreciate you guys joining us and forming the Fantastic Four.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was history. Wow, D, I mean, what a great conversation with those guys. Shout out to the fellas on the West Coast, Best Coast that gave us a little treat, a little preview for this Saturday matchup with Vancouver. And I don't know about you, but that makes me feel so much more amped up for this game. This is like a potential championship preview.
You know, my favorite part about all this is the guy, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Slattery, set this all up, and he wasn't a part of that historical moment. Like, we got to be a part of the first crossover episode. Like, it
doesn't get better,
beautiful,
man.
Beautiful thing.
Well, you know what else? Beautiful thing, actually, before we wrap this up, got a little something to show you. I'm going to preface this by saying it's not so fun when the rabbit's got the gun. Rick's Good Eats.
Oh no, this guy.
Rick's Good Eats, $5 off next purchase on your next visit, takeout or dine in. Only available.
You only got one for yourself?
Oh, I ordered. I ate the other day. I had chicken fingers with this and fries, or chicken tenders, I think is what they're called, with this like sauce on top of them. And I looked it up a minute ago. It's on the kids menu, of course, online. So there you go. But it was unbelievable. It was unreal.
It's
I was
funny
eating
because
like, and I was hiding when I was eating it because I didn't want people to see.
I've already my first game is on Thursday. It's an afternoon game, 11 a.m. tip off, and all I can think about is grabbing Rick's to go on the way home. Like, I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. Besides the high quality of basketball that we're going to be watching, I can't wait to crush a chicken sandwich and then douse myself with some Pepto-Bismol because I'm not good with heat. I'm at that age now. But oh man, just thinking about it, man, I can't wait. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous.
An absolute treat. No famine when you're having Ricks. No famine in the basketball front too as well. We're going to be treated to a ton of good basketball in the upcoming week. On the weekend, it's going to be a ton of fun. Again, if you have a chance to come out, check out the Brampton Honey Badgers. Tickets, cheap, experience, priceless. Special thanks to the guys again from out west for joining us, giving us the whole preview for the matchup. Quick reminder, you can watch the Honey Badgers on their 4-game homestand. Again, Thursday, Montreal coming to town. That's a day game. Games are on CBC Gem and YouTube, as well as CEBL YouTube.
And see my debut.
Yeah, hey, check it out. There's a lot of things you should watch, man. This is it. All the D fans are going to be coming out of the woodwork. And then you can also you can check out new episodes every Wednesday on our pod here with new guests. And then you can follow Target Score Pod on Instagram, Target Score Podcast on YouTube. D, again, an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you in person. And again, looking forward to a fun week of hoops, my man. Thanks for another fun one here.
6-0 next time you see us.